What's up, y'all? I'm back from vacation. I already filmed this here video right here yesterday and did not realize that I didn't have my mic on. And in the midst of my filming, my lawnmower man came, and the mic I have on my camera has like a wind filter on it. It's called like a wind something like that. It's got like a wind filter on it, and so like if my lawnmower man has come before, like when I'm filming and stuff, but because I didn't have my mic on and my wind filter wasn't on, you could hear nothing but, for the last probably 20 or 30 minutes of my video, my fucking lawnmower man, the weed whacker down below my window weed whacking, my dog fucking going crazy. So it's like dumping down rain today, so I'm like, I think we're pretty safe today. And I put my mic back on, so it's all good today. So I'm just gonna like get ready and stuff. I have to take my mother-in-law to the grocery store so she can get some flowers, even though it's a torrential downpour right now. I don't know what she's gonna do with those flowers. She's getting flowers. She's getting her yard landscaped on Monday, so she wants to go get some flowers. She's got to get some groceries. So I just have to take her to the grocery store. So I thought, what a perfect time to film this video again and talk about my vacation. If you guys follow me on Instagram, y'all saw. If you don't know and you haven't watched like my last, I don't know how many videos I was talking about it, probably like my last 5 or 6 videos. I'm so excited to talk about my vacation. We went to Clearwater Beach, Florida. We stayed on Clearwater Island, I guess it's called, because there's like Clearwater, if you're unaware. There's Clearwater, which is like down on the kind of like the edge of Florida, like on the Gulf side. There's Clearwater, and then you like go over this bridge, and then there's Clearwater Beach, which is like a little island. I don't think it's technically an island because it is connected by like a bridge or whatever, but we went to Clearwater Island. Just to preface, I personally have never been anywhere coastal. I've never been, my dad, when I was younger, my dad was a truck driver, and he every week had a route to California, and he used to take me with him to California all the time, and he would take me, like he took me to Six Flags, and took me and like showed me LA. At the time I was like bro's age, so I was only like probably between the ages of like 10 or 12 when I did that, so I don't really remember it. I feel like there was a time when he took me to the ocean, but it's not like a vivid memory, you know what I mean? Like I feel like he did, and I would assume that he did. Like I have this just like haze of a memory of my dad just like taking me there and me like standing in the water, but I don't know if it's just like something I made up in my head. You know what I mean? You know how you do that sometimes? Like if you have like a memory of something, you think you have a memory of something, but it's just like something you've created in your head. So I don't know if that's like something I've created in my head because it's been so long and I got a lot of fried out brain cells and my memory is not the greatest. Y'all know I got short-term memory loss and shit, and a little bit of long-term too, but I feel like I did, but I have no recollection of it. So the whole point of me telling you that was that I have never been to the ocean. Aiden's never been to the ocean. Tim has. He's even been to Florida a couple of times. His uncle owns property in Fort Myers, so Tim's been down there on like fishing excursions with his uncle and his dad and stuff, but we had never been to Florida. I was so fucking excited. It was like just a whole slew of firsts. Like I've never flown before. I was so nervous about flying. I have never been to the ocean. I've never been to Florida. I've never been to like the Gulf. Like we were basically in the Gulf. It was crazy. It was so fucking cool. So for this video, I know I always say like in my get ready with me, it's like I'm not gonna talk about the stuff that I'm using. But this time I'm really not, because I have so much stuff to tell you guys that I know if I like talk about makeup too, it's just gonna be the longest video ever. Even though a lot of you guys were like, I can't wait till you get back, you better make the first video back super long. Believe me, this is going to be all the long. I'm gonna talk about our vacation, talk about why I did not film on our vacation, and we're gonna start from beginning to end if I've got time. Yesterday I literally sat up here and talked for an hour and a half, and just got fucking completely trashed. I gotta pick my mom up in about an hour and a half, or I keep saying my mom, my mother-in-law. I have to pick my mother-in-law up in about an hour and a half, so I'm hoping I'll have time to like tell you guys everything. If not, I might come on and do maybe like a live or something like that and talk about it, because y'all know I always say I feel like y'all are my friends, and because I feel like you're my friends, I want to tell you guys all the stuff that we did and like, you know, bring you guys along. I wish I would have been able to, you know, film and vlog the whole experience. Here's the thing. So we went with my mother-in-law, okay? She does not like to be on camera. She does not like her picture taken. She is not all about that life. BT Dubs, the foundation I'm about to put on, hopefully matches. I'm so fucking dark right now. If you guys remember, I went and tanned before going on vacation because I was like, I'm not going down there and like going on the beach for the first time in a Florida fucking sun and getting burnt the fuck up and then being miserable the rest of the time. So I did go for about a month prior to the tanning bed and got me a little natural tan going on. This is the most tan I've ever been in my life, natural or unnatural. This is like the most tan I've ever been. Everybody that knows me is like, oh my god, you're so fucking tan. I've never seen you that tan, including my mother. Including myself. Fuck, I look in the mirror, I'm like, god damn, I'm so tan. I don't even know how to like match my foundation or anything. I usually do like sunless tanner during summertime, as y'all know. But last summer, I was like, you know what? I ain't even fucking with it this year. Like, fuck it. I'm just gonna rock my pasty ass because sunless tanner is such a pain in the ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get it on your hands and God forbid you fucking shave because you're gonna shave your tan right the fuck off. I can't tell you how nice it is to be able to shave my legs and not be scared that my tan's gonna disappear, you know what I mean? It's still gonna be there even after I shave. It's so nice. Anyways, back to vacation. So, if you guys watched my hauls and stuff like that before we went on vacation, I bought a bunch of stuff to wear on vacation because I'm like, I know we're gonna be in Florida. I know it's fucking hot. Me personally, I fucks with the heat. Like, I love it. The hotter and the more humid, the better. That's just how I am. Like, I fucking love the heat. I know. What the fuck am I doing in Ohio? I tell you guys, if Tim did not own a business, and a pretty lucrative business at that, here, I probably wouldn't live here because I really hate seasonal areas. Like, I would rather just be where it's warm all the time. Like, that's my shit. That's what I dig. So anyways, let me just start with, because I'm like, oh my god, I want to tell you guys so much, I don't know where to start. Let me start from the beginning. Let me start with why I did not film. So we are, now mind you, I was like preparing for this vacation because I was so excited. Literally, probably like 3 weeks in advance. I mean, y'all saw I was like doing hauls and going and buying all the vacation clothes and whatever else. So I'm packing my shit. I am not a very, how do I put it, intelligent packer. Let's just say that. I don't pack wisely. And by the way too, like I booked everything through Expedia because I have never booked a flight. When I went on like plane ticket websites, I was so fucking confused. I'm like, how the fuck do I do this? The only thing we knew is we knew where we wanted to go. We knew where we wanted to stay. We knew we wanted to go to Clearwater Beach. And we knew we wanted to stay in the Hyatt. It's called like the Aquila Hotel, the Hyatt Regency Hotel on Clearwater Beach, which highly recommend. It's basically like the biggest hotel down there. It takes up like fucking massive area. It's got a pool. It's literally on the beach, right on the beach. It's so fucking nice. So packing to go. So what we did is last Tuesday, because we landed in Florida last Wednesday, last Tuesday we were getting ready to leave and we decided that we were going to go stay in Dayton. We were flying out of Dayton, Ohio to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then we had a connecting flight from Charlotte to Tampa. So we had decided, which by the way, I didn't even know there's a fucking airport in St. Pete, which is super close to Clearwater. I mean, Tampa wasn't that far. It was like probably like half an hour away, somewhere around there. Tampa wasn't that far away, but St. Pete was like way closer. Had I known there was an airport there, I would have tried to get a flight from St. Pete, which is probably what we'll do next time because we totally plan on going back. So we're getting ready to leave, and Tim always does this thing. Let me just mention this real quick. Y'all, this fucking foundation is so nice. I did mix a little bit of the It Cosmetics CC cream in the color tan, because this is Warm Honey. This is the Burt's Bees Goodness Glows foundation. This is in the color tan, and I just feel like it's so dark and it's so different from my face color. Like, I'm just not comfortable like putting this on, even though it does match. So I mixed a little bit of this, but this fucking foundation is so fucking nice, girl. It's so glowy. It looks like your skin. It stays on all day. It's so beautiful. It's such a good foundation. Anyways, I'll talk about it in a future video, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So, where was I? Oh, yes. So we're getting ready to leave. Whenever we get ready to go on vacation, Tim gets very antsy and like very rushy. Like, he just wants to go, 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 go. So, which is why we chose to go to Dayton the night before, because we're like, you know, we need to go. Our flight left at 7 in the morning, which meant I live almost 2 hours away from Dayton, and our flight leaving at 7 in the morning meant that, you know, we had never flown before. The TSA website said that you had to be there an hour and a half to 2 hours early. So we're like, we need to get there 2 hours early. We live like almost 2 hours from Dayton. Our flight leaves at like 7:25 or something like that. Dude, we're gonna have to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, legit. So to avoid that, we're like, let's go stay in Dayton Tuesday night. And by no means, look, I'm all vacationed out. I forgot to mention that too. Look, I got my vacation gear on, Clearwater Beach. I got my little souvenir shell necklace. I got so many souvenirs. So anyways, so we had decided to go to Dayton. We're getting ready to leave. Tim's getting very antsy because he's like, oh my God, I want to go. I want to be there right now. We were in no kind of a hurry, but I was like, dude, you need to take it down a couple notches. You know we ain't in a hurry. So, you know, I've got everything packed. I had started packing like 3 days before, right? I do not pack lightly. My suitcase was, now my makeup, on the other hand, I packed a little lightly because I knew that I wasn't going to be wearing a ton of makeup because we were going to be on the beach and stuff like that. Had I known that I was not going to wear any of the makeup, my God, I barely wore makeup the entire time we were down there, just because we were doing like so many activities and stuff. I barely fucking wore anything. I mean, I was lucky to put foundation on, you know what I'm saying? I took MAC Face and Body, and I took this foundation, but literally the only thing I did every day was like squirt some face and body in my hand, rub it on my face just to make my face the same color as my body, and that's it. I'm so fucking glad, pro tip for you, I am so fucking glad that I did a lash perm, that I tinted my lashes and I tinted my brows before I went, because had I not, I probably wouldn't have felt as comfortable as I did, like not wearing makeup the whole time, because I have my lashes tinted, I have my brows tinted. I basically, all I had to do was just like brush through my lashes, put a little brow gel on my eyebrows, slap some face and body on, and I was good. So I would definitely suggest if you get ready to go on like a tropical vacation to do the same. I thought about doing a video on like makeup to wear like for a tropical vacation, for a beach vacation. Would you guys want to see that? Let me know down below if you will want to see a video like that. If you don't give a fuck, then you know, just tell me, girl. You know how it is here. We do what we want. So we're getting ready to leave. We got everything packed up. Tim's putting the shit in the car. I am getting my camera equipment together, and I cannot fucking find the charging cord for my camera. So for the duration that I have been on YouTube, and I have used, when I first started YouTube, I had a Sony, I don't even remember the model number, it doesn't matter. I had a Sony camera that I was filming with, and then I converted to Canon. As y'all know, I had a Canon 6D, and now I have a 6D Mark II. For the duration of the time that I have been on YouTube, I have never used a battery to film my videos. I've always used, it's basically, I bought it off of Amazon years ago. It looks like a little battery and it's attached to a cord, and the cord plugs into the wall. And basically what it does is it runs a complete charge on your camera for the entire duration of your camera being on. So when I film videos, I don't have to worry about fucking batteries dying and shit like that, which is probably why, you know, not probably, it is why you've never heard me bitch in videos about, oh my god, my battery's dying or whatever, because I always use this charging cable. So I'm looking for it. I cannot fucking find it anywhere. Literally up until about 35 minutes ago, still could not find the motherfucker. Here, it was on my stairs. On my stairs, I had a box of stuff. I've got like these 2 wooden shelves. I just like throw shit on my stairs. Y'all know how it is, girl. I threw a bunch of shit on my stairs just to get it out of the way when I was cleaning my house, and it's been there for a while. Just saying, just being real, hashtag relatable. So I threw all this stuff on my stairs, like a box on my stairs. I don't remember putting my cord there, but apparently I did one day when I was cleaning, because as y'all know, I've been filming downstairs, so I had it plugged into the wall. So before we leave for vacation, or for Dayton, I'm looking all over for his fucking charging cord. Cannot fucking find it anywhere. I'm freaking out. I'm like, there's no fucking way that, and by the way, if you guys remember, I only have 1 fucking battery for my camera because my dog chewed up the other one. If you watched the vlog when he did that, and if you didn't, in one vlog, my dog chewed up one of my camera batteries. I had 2 batteries. My dog chewed the one up. So, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it with just a camera battery, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking for this cord. Tim is ready to fucking G-O, like a half an hour ago. You know what I'm saying? He's like getting real frustrated with me because he's like ready to fucking go. And, you know, rightfully so, because it always takes us like an hour to leave the house, because I'm always like, do I have this? Do I have this? Oh, I forgot this. 9 times out of 10, I usually have to leave the car and come back in the house and grab something that I forgot, which you'd think after 14 years he'd be used to it, but he is not. So, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to keep charging my battery, right? Not only did I have aspersions to like film a really cool YouTube video, like talking to you guys on the balcony overlooking the beach, but I am a photographer and I wanted to get some really nice like family pictures on the beach and really good pictures of Aiden, and you know, I've got this camera, I wanted to get some video and stuff like that, so I was super fucking excited about taking my camera. Well, I think because I was just like so in the moment and Tim was kind of rushing me around, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just take it without taking the charging cable. Fuck it, I don't need the charging cable, whatever. So we're putting all the luggage in the bag, or in the car. We ended up taking just a little carry-on to change our clothes at the airport, or at the hotel, like when we got to Dayton, right? So Tim gets all the luggage out. We're in Dayton, you know, whatever. We stay the night. We get up super fucking early, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, get ready for the airport. You know, we're dressed. We get down to the car, and I open the hatch to put the carry-on in there, and I look around in my hatch, and I'm like, where's my camera bag at? What, did I leave it? Did I take it up to the hotel? Like, where's my camera bag? I was like, is it in the backseat with you, bro? Like, is my camera bag back there? Please my camera bag. Aiden's like, no, it's all back here. Tim's like, you didn't leave it in the hotel, right? And I was like, no, I didn't even take it in the hotel. And then it hits me. Oh my god. I forgot my fucking camera bag. How? I don't know. I think it was just because I was so in the moment of looking for that charging cord that it just slipped my mind. And Tim was like real antsy about leaving, and I just fucking forgot it. So I was real fucking pissed. At that point, I got into cunt face mode, where I was an asshole to everybody, because at one point, because I was so upset, at one point Tim's mom was like, oh, well, I brought my camera, And I was thinking, like, she had this old Kodak, like, it had like 6 megapixels on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the camera that she has. She's super old school. She doesn't have a smartphone. She doesn't know how, she's very technologically impaired. Let's just say that. So she's like, oh, I brought my camera. And I was like, your camera's from like 2005. And Tim's like, you're a dick. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was just so fucking upset. And I was. That was a dick thing to say. But she's like, oh no, I got a new one off of HSN and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, oh, you did? And she's like, yeah, it's a new one. She was being cool about it. She's like, yeah, I bought it off HSN because she's a total HSN whore and, you know, orders everything off HSN. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe her camera will be sufficient enough. I know it's not going to take like amazing shots like my 6D Mark II would, but you know, she's got a decent camera, probably better than my cell phone type camera, right? So I'm like, okay. So, you know, that was resolved. We get to the airport. Now, if you remember how I said that I had booked everything on Expedia.com because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I've never flown. I've never booked a flight. I did not know that there were 87 tiers of levels of seating when you go to book a flight. Basically what it was is on Expedia, you do a package. You do your hotel, your flight, and your rental car all in one package. And what I was trying to do is make it the least expensive as possible. This trip was, even though we did pay for some of it, a lot of it, this trip was like a gift to us from Tim's mom. So she paid for the package. We paid for everything else. She paid for like the package. And because she was paying for it, I was just trying to get the cheapest rate possible, right? I did not know that that meant, basically what I thought is that when you flew first class or you flew coach and there was no in between. Like, you're either bougie as fuck or, you know, you're just chilling in a seat with a little TV at your headrest and like stuff like that, right? We flew American. Let me just put that out there first. And also let me put out there, I will never again, ever again fly American. Just saying, just putting that out there. So we flew American, excuse me. So we get to the airport. Mind you, I'm the one that booked the package. You know, Tim's mom, she paid for the package. Trying to get the cheapest rate possible. Yes, okay, you got that? We get to the airport and I've never flown. I didn't know what it entails. All I knew is that you fly coach and you get a carry-on that you fucking put in a little box above your head, whatever. I checked out the sizes of the carry-on. I made sure the weight and everything of our carry-ons was sufficient. I was on the TSA website, like looking everything up, not putting anything in the carry-ons that's not supposed to be in there, putting everything in the carry-ons that's not allowed to be checked, like, you know, whatever else. So, basically all I wanted in our carry-on was my makeup so it didn't get fucked up and our medications. Tim's a diabetic. He also takes other medications, so I just wanted all of our medications with us in case they would happen to get lost. There are medications that Tim has to take on the daily, so I just didn't want our medicine to get lost. We get to the airport and motherfucker, apparently the tickets that I booked were cheap for a reason. So we get to the airport and find out that, and I had even asked this guy, like, yo, is this cool for a carry-on? And he's like, oh yeah, that'll work, that's fine, no problem. The guy that like kind of guided us to where what gate we were supposed to be at or whatever. We get there and the lady, first of all, was a total cuntbag. She was like, okay, your tickets only include basically one personal item. So essentially, the tickets we got only included your purse. Pretty much, the size of the item was not allowed to be bigger than 14 inches by 18 inches, okay? Which I did not know. So she's like, you need to check these 2 bags, or 2, you know, carry-on bags. Aiden had a laptop bag. That was his carry-on. I had a carry-on suitcase. Tim had a carry-on suitcase. Tim's mom had a carry-on suitcase, and then we had 2 big suitcases. checked her 2 big ones. She's like, you can't fucking take this on the fucking plane. This, the carry-ons, because your ticket has no overhead access, meaning whatever you take has to fit under your seat. I'm like, what? Wait, no. And Tim goes, well, we'll just upgrade it then. She then tells us that, oh, sorry, the tickets you bought are not available for an upgrade. Okay? So, not only was I very frustrated that we couldn't take our carry-ons, I am standing in line with probably 10 to 15 people behind me waiting for me to switch things around in my bags so that way we can take the fucking pills on the plane. It was a fucking mess, girl. So finally, I was like, what do we want to take on the plane? And Tim's like, just our medications, that's fine. I was like, fuck my makeup, I don't even care right now, I just want to get through this. BT dubs, this was my first time flying, so I may or may not have taken a Valium before all this happened, and my Valium has started kicking in, so I was a little scrambled at the time with all these 15 people behind me and this lady bitching at me and Tim trying to apologize to her that we've never flown before, we don't know what's going on, we don't know about tickets, we don't know about nothing. So all that's going on, I'm high as fuck on my volume's kicking in, you know what I'm saying? So finally I was like, give me this. I had our pills in this bag. This is a makeup bag I usually take on vacation with us. However, this time I bought a new makeup bag. I decided to put all of our pills in this bag. We have a lot of pills. I take a lot of supplements. Tim takes a lot of medications. We also always take like headache medications and you know, ibuprofen, and leave whatever shit like that with us when we go on vacation. So this bag full of pills, right? I take this bag and she says, oh, he can bring his laptop bag, right? Aiden, that's fine. And by the way, I even took my computer. I wouldn't let Aiden bring his computer, but I took my computer so I could edit videos. I even had a video on a fucking memory card in my camera bag, planning on editing at the hotel that night and uploading it while we were in Florida. Anyways, so I take that bag full of pills and I stuff it into Aiden's laptop bag because I was like, we have to take this on the plane. And I already have my purse. And she said, you can only have one bag. You can't take your purse and take this bag of pills. That's how much of a bitch she was. Like, you saw the size of that bag. It's this big. My purse that I carried was like a little backpack, a little mini backpack purse, was about this big, and she would not let me carry both of them. So I tried to stuff it in Aiden's laptop bag, and she said, if you stuff that in there, his bag's gonna be too bulky to take on the plane. I'm like, you fucking bitch, I'm going to punch you in the face. You're lucky I'm on Valium right now. Let me just say that. So, I was a little pissed off. But I thought, you know what? I've got to calm down. I've got to, like, deal with the situation, assess the situation. I said, what fucking pills do you need to have, Tim? So, Tim goes through the bag. Mind you, we're doing all of this while there are 10 to 15 people. I just spit all over the place. While there are 10 to 15 people in line behind of us going like this. Tapping their feet, standing, you know, holding their hand on their hip like this. I'm like, bitch. And Tim's like, we've never flown, we're so sorry, whatever. So I said, what fucking pills do you need to take on the plane? To, like, what are the pills that you have to have every day? So he pulls out about 4 or 5 pill bottles and takes them, and I shove them in my purse. Well, then she says, you know, because we have to check our carry-on bags that we were not able to carry on. She then says, oh, BT dubs, I'm using this palette right here. Yeah, the Manny MUA palette, I got it. My Jeffree Star palette's on the way. I'm going to do a review of this. I'm not talking about it right now because I want to use it and, like, actually, you know, use it and test it out. So sorry, my camera stopped recording. Anyways, I wasn't paying attention to the time. It always cuts off at like 30 minutes. Yes, I've been talking for 30 minutes already. Oh my god. Anyways, as I was saying, I want to actually review this. So, just saying, I'm just using it. So, just so you guys know. Everything I'm using, by the way, and know what talking about will be listed down below. So, as I was saying, where was I? I was like, what pills are you taking? I shove them in my purse. Then she says, you know, because now we have to check our carry-ons that we had planned on carrying on, and that entailed everything that was not allowed to be checked in the carry-on. So she goes, oh, are there any lithium batteries, blah, blah, blah. I said yes, because if you guys don't know, Tim and I smoke e-cigs. I have smoked an e-cig for like 4 years. We quit smoking 4 or 5 years ago and used the e-cigarette to quit smoking. So I said, yeah, our e-cig batteries, we thought we were going to be able to carry on this bag. That's why they were there, because if you don't know, when you go on a plane and you smoke an e-cig, oh, my face is starting to itch. My face always itches when I'm like trying to put makeup on. I'm gonna like throw some powder up on here because I'm looking very dewy, girl. I told y'all that foundation was so dewy. I did have a little bit of facial oil on before, but you know, I'm getting a little sweaty, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Anyways, so I said, yeah, we thought we was gonna have to carry this on, so yes, we do. We have cigarette batteries in here. And she goes, well, those have to be with you. You have to keep it on your person. If you don't know, and you smoke an e-cig, when you fly, your e-cig and the batteries for that have to be on your person. You cannot put them, you can't check them. So I was like, okay, while these people have been standing here for 15 minutes waiting on me, let me open another bag and pull some other shit out. So I had to open again our carry-on and pull out our e-cig batteries and find a place to shove those at in my purse, while my purse is like, you know, I can't even zip my purse closed because it's got so much shit shoved in it. So after all that, we finally fucking get to the plane. We go on the plane and I'm like, oh, this looks so different from what I had expected it to look like. It was the tightest, most, like, this airplane looked like a motherfucking Greyhound bus on a bad day. Like, I don't even think there was as much room on this plane as there was on a Greyhound. Like, it was a little crazy. So, I was like, oh, this ain't like what I had expected. There were no TVs in the back of the headrest. Like, there, I was like, this, the whole time, thank God, I was in a seat with Tim's mom. It's a little crazy, it's a little tight. So I was like, you know what? This flight is only like an hour, hour and a half long. It's not that far from Charlotte, North Carolina to Dayton. So this flight's only gonna be like an hour, hour and a half, whatever. So we're sitting there, and we are waiting for the flight to take off. And I've never been on a plane. I was already nervous. My impression of a plane was that you get on the plane and, like, I don't know why, but in my head I thought you couldn't feel the plane. I don't know why. You couldn't hear the plane. I think maybe it's because I always see, like, the Kardashians and shit. Like, you can't hear the plane when they're, like, filming on planes. You know what I mean? Obviously, they probably got camera equipment that, like, you know, distracts from all that. But I was like, oh, this is, like, real loud and stuff. And we're sitting there and the captain says something about being late taking off. Well, the layover that we had in Charlotte was only a 35 or 45 minute layover. Or no, the layover we had was like an hour, okay? We ended up taking off 20 or 30 minutes late. So when we got to Charlotte, we only had, once we landed and got off the plane, we only had like 10 minutes or something to get to our gate. And I don't know if you've ever been to the airport in Charlotte, North Carolina, but it is very fucking gargantuan. It's fucking huge. So it's not as big as like the one in Tampa or the one in Atlanta or anything, but it's fucking huge. So And, you know, being somebody that's never been to an airport, I was like, oh my God. So I had the American Airlines app on my phone, and I looked down at my phone and it says, oh, our flight departs in 8 minutes. And we couldn't have been further away from the gate that we were supposed to be at, that we were at that time, when I had noticed we had 8 minutes to get to that gate. So, and at the time, I had no clue that, you know, when you get on a plane, when you board a plane, you board in like sectors or groups or whatever. I didn't know. We were group 9, i.e. we were clearing the back of the fucking plane by the toilets. Yep, that's where we was. I basically was like, yo, I just looked at my app. We've literally got like 8 minutes to get to this gate right now. Oh my God. So we all start booking it. Tim's mom's got bum knees. She's like fucking hobbling along. You know, everybody's like not in the biggest hurry. You know, we're like speed walking. And all of a sudden I was like, yo, I'm going to run up to the gate. And I thought if I just take off in front of everybody else, and there were signs, you know, it wasn't that bad because there were signs pointing everywhere we needed to go. And we knew what gate we were supposed to be at. So, we were going, and I thought, if I book it in front of everybody else, I can get to that gate and tell them, yo, we got 3 more people coming, right? So, I get to the gate, and I'm like booking, and here we get to the gate, and they were boarding the group that was 3 groups below us. So we literally just got there like almost just in time. We had just enough time for Bro and I to use the bathroom before our group had boarded. So thankfully we got there in time. We landed in Tampa, and we were like, oh my, a little baby Jesus, the fucking airport dough. We had to take like 3 trolleys. We had to take 2 trolleys to our luggage, and then another trolley just to get to our rental car, which was also just a fucking nightmare because apparently they were out of the car or the type of vehicle we reserved. You know, I in my mind I thought, well, isn't the point of a reservation to reserve that vehicle? Like, the definition of reserve is to keep it until it is ready to be taken, right? Am I wrong in that? Apparently, Sixt rental company thinks so. So the guy is explaining to Tim how when you book their Expedia, they don't know what cars we have, and they don't know, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's not a good idea to book through Expedia. We had already done that, so thanks for the pro tip, buddy. And we had booked a standard size SUV, which on the website said a Toyota 4Runner, because we wanted something, if you guys don't know, I drive a Lincoln MKX. We wanted something that was a little bit bigger than a Lincoln MKX. We wanted something that was just a little bit bigger because our luggage was like smashed in our car. Between his mom's luggage, you know, Tim's luggage, my luggage, Aiden's luggage, it was like smashed in our car. So we wanted something a little bit bigger just to fit the luggage and to drive around comfortably because we didn't know how much driving we were going to be doing. So to them, a standard size SUV was apparently the size of a Lincoln MKX. In my mind, a standard size SUV is like a Toyota 4Runner, like it says on the website. So we bump up to a full-size SUV because of that. And when we got to the car, it was a Kia like Sorento or something, I don't know what it was. Full-size SUV. When I think full-size SUV, I think Suburban, Tahoe, Escalade. You know what I'm saying? Like big ass fucking full-size SUV. In the rental car company's mind, a full-size SUV is something that has 3rd row seating. So, though it had 3rd row seating, it only had about this much more room than the hatch of the MKX. So when we got to it, we were like, you know what? Fuck it. We're here. Let's just enjoy it. Let's get to our hotel. From that point on, it was literal smooth sailing. The hotel staff could not have been nicer. The accommodations could not have been nicer. The island could not have been more beautiful. It was the most beautiful and serene thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, so, you know, the fact that I forgot my camera and stuff, all that went out the window. I was just so grateful to be there. And we were totally under the impression that, you know, when we get there, we're totally just going to take it easy. We're going to get to the hotel. We're going to chill at the hotel. Maybe, you know, walk down, look around at stuff, and we're just going to chill tonight. No, we didn't do that. We went straight to the ocean. It was so fucking nice, so pretty. We went swimming that night in the ocean, or that day in the ocean, went back to the hotel, got ready, went and had a nice dinner. It was just amazing. Amazing. It was so fucking nice. Now, back to why I did not take as many. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw I took a couple pictures. Somebody had mentioned putting it like on Instagram stories. I wish I would have. When I seen that comment, I was like, oh yeah, that's such a good idea. I'm just going to say, you know, right off the bat, I'm not really that savvy at using Instagram stories. I don't really know how it works. So, because of that, I'm not used to using it, so I had completely forgot about it. I didn't even like take Snapchat into consideration because I thought, oh my god, I want to document this. I want to document this. It's so pretty. It's so nice, you know. But then I just kind of sat back and I thought, you know what? This is my first time to the ocean. It's my first time anywhere coastal. It's my first time to Florida. It is my son's first time in the ocean. I just kind of wanted to revel in it. And I think a lot of times, you know, especially nowadays, like, people are so invested in like capturing the moment that they don't really take the time to just be in the moment as the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that makes sense. I just really wanted to like revel in the fact that I was on this beautiful island with my family, and you know, it was the first time we had ever gotten to do something of that like stature, I guess. You know, Tim and I don't come from a lot. We haven't always had a lot. Like, there were times where, you know, our rent was months and months behind, where there was a time we were living in a trailer and driving an old beat up car, and our rent was 3 months behind, and our bills were months behind, and we were waiting on an income tax check that, because of a stupid ass fucking IRA withdrawal that we didn't end up getting, and almost lost everything had it not been for Tim's parents at one point, which, you know, since then we have paid them back. But, you know, there were just times where we were down and out, and there were times where we thought, or I thought, and he thought, that point in time was never going to be. That we would never be able to take this like lavish, beautiful vacation on this like tropical island, and I just wanted to like be in the moment and be grateful for the moment and just really revel in like what it actually was. You know what I mean? So I didn't take a lot of pictures. I regret not taking a lot of pictures, but at the same time, I was just so in the moment that it was kind of like the last thing on my mind. I was just like enjoying myself so fucking much. Like, we liked it so much that literally the second day there, we were looking on Airbnb for like places, Airbnbs to rent on Clearwater Beach. It was so fucking nice. I loved it so much. So, the funny thing is that, okay, so when we take vacations, I think I had said in a previous video, hold on, let me tie line my eyes so I don't go poking myself in the eye. Okay, so as I was saying, it was funny because, I think I had said in a previous video that when we go on vacation, like, we do all the things. We do all the activities because we come from such a small rural area. There's literally nothing around us. And we're like, I don't want to say active people because we ain't that fucking active, but we like to do things, you know what I mean? We like to do activities. And because there's nothing around us and there's never anything for us to do, you know, in our area, whenever we go on a vacation, we try to do everything at once. Like, there's so much. Like, when we went to Chicago, we literally were like, oh my God, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. Like, when we go on vacation, we literally, like, wear ourselves out to the point where we need a vacation when we come back from vacation. You know what I mean? So, this time, Tim was like, we're not doing that this time. We're going to chill on the beach. We're going to chill at the pool, and we're just going to have a good vacation. We're going to be relaxed. You know, it's going to be nice. We're just going to chill. This vacation is going to be a relaxing vacation. We found out that there was a spa in the hotel. We're like, we might go get a fucking massage one day. Like, this is going to be relaxing, okay? That lasted about as long as it took for us to set foot on the island. Tim was like, oh my God, we have to do all the things because there was so much to do down there. Everything was, you know, just directed around the beach. So there was boat tours to take, there were fishing charters to take, there were, you know, you could ride jet skis, you could do all this stuff. We literally did all the things. The first day we were there, we just chilled on the beach, you know, no big deal, just kind of chilled out on the beach, no big deal. And we went to like a nice dinner. The second day we were there, we decided we wanted to, was it the second or the third day? One of the days Tim got sick off of something that we had eaten that day, because we went to the pool one day and got some fish. You know, we were down like on the beach, we were eating seafood. Tim ended up getting sick and like couldn't eat anything all day. You know, just the thought of it was like making him sick. That's how sick he had gotten. So the one day Aiden and I just went to the beach, but we one day we went on a pirate cruise, and we also went to the aquarium. Like, we went on a pirate cruise. We went to the aquarium. The Clearwater Aquarium is like an animal hospital, and they rescue animals, and you know, it's very educational. Like, it's where Winter from Dolphin Tale, that's like her casa, you know what I'm saying? She lives there or whatever. We went to the aquarium, went on pirate tour, went to the aquarium, went on jet skis, went on a fishing charter. What else did we do? There was a lot of stuff that we did, okay? You name it, we did it. Which was funny because Tim's like, we're just gonna relax, and we did none of the above. The pirate tour was so fucking cool. We got to see dolphins, and the cool thing about the pirate tour is that you go on there and you're on this big pirate boat, and obviously it's this big like act or whatever. But the cool thing is they take the kids down in like the bottom half of the boat, and they do all these activities with the kids. And Aiden had such a good time. He said it was his favorite part. At the end of the pirate tour, they did this like dance party, and the kids were all dancing. It was so cool. It was hot as dick, I will say that. Which I don't mind the heat, but dude, that day we went on that pirate tour, we didn't go on that fucking pirate tour till 7 o'clock at night, and it was still hot as dick. Oh my God, it was so hot. And then the one day we went on jet skis, and it was terrifying. So, okay, oh my God, I've literally been talking for 40 minutes. Oh my God. I'm going to have to, do you guys want to hear the story about the jet skis? Because it's a really long story. It's kind of funny. It's kind of fucked up. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear the story about the jet skis, because it's a long story, and I'm already been talking for like 45 minutes. So, and I have to pick my mother-in-law up soon, so I'm not going to be able to, like, I know once I get into this story, like, I'm getting into this fucking story, you know what I mean? So I'll skip the jet ski story, but if you want to hear it, please let me know in the comments, because it's actually a really good story. So, aside from the jet skis, one of my favorite nights was Tim and I, Aiden and Tim's mom decided that they just wanted to chill at the hotel. And so Tim and I decided we're going to go walk down the beach. We're going to go, there's this pier there called Pier 60 that goes out into the ocean. It's just, you know, if you've ever seen a pier on the beach, it's this huge long pier that's like quarter mile long, and it goes all the way down the beach. So Tim and I decided to just take a little walk about 7 o'clock at night, and we went down to the pier and found out that they did this thing every night during the summertime. It's like this arts and crafts fair. There were street performers there, and you go down to the end of the pier and you can fish off the pier and like do all this other stuff. So we went on down to the pier and like got to watch the sunset. We saw dolphins for the first time. This was, I think, maybe only the second night we were there. Might have been the first or second night we were there. And it was the first time, because I was like, I want to see a dolphin, I want to see a dolphin. Because, you know, all the signs everywhere is like, tours to go see dolphins, dolphin spotting here, dolphin spotting there. And I'm like, I want to see a dolphin. So when we were on the pier, we got to see a dolphin. We got to see Jack Sparrow. There was a guy dressed as Jack Sparrow, like doing stuff. We got to see a magician. We got to see a guy eat fire. Like, we got to see all this shit. It was so fucking cool. Aiden was bummed he didn't go with us. So we were like walking on the beach, and then as we're walking on the beach, I'm like, oh my God, the waves are so big. And Aiden loved the ocean. He loved like jumping into the waves as they came in, because we don't get shit like that around here. You know what I mean? The biggest wave is like a little boof that comes in. It's not a wave that you can jump on a boogie board and like ride into the beach. You know what I mean? They're just like little teeny tiny, not even technically considered waves. So Aiden was just like living for it. So we were down at the beach. It was nighttime, and you know, the sun had set. I'm like, oh my God, look how big the waves are right now. Aiden would dig it. So we called Aiden and Tim's mom, and they came down, and we swam at night, and it was so much fun. The next day, I believe it was the next day when Tim got sick, and I was going to go like shop around and do some stuff. And I had decided, like, you know, I'm not gonna just leave, which, by the way, Aiden would have been fine with, because he is cool. He brought his Switch with him, his Nintendo Switch, so he had a new game and he was playing it. He don't give a fuck, you know, he's 13. He's a gamer, you know what I'm saying? Those of you who have like gamer kids, y'all know what up. So, but I thought, you know, we're here, he needs to enjoy the beach. So I decided to take Aiden down to the beach that day. We were on the beach for, all of about 2.5 hours. In that time, I sprayed his entire body down with 100 SPF 100, twice. I also bought a zinc barrier cream that was an SPF 50 that I had slathered him in twice. And he got burnt so bad that he got blisters across his face, the poor guy. But it wasn't that bad, thankfully. It did hurt, so I went and I got him some aloe, this like aloe gel that had spearmint to draw the heat out and had lidocaine to numb it. So once I put that on there, he was okay. And it surprisingly went down really quickly, like literally the next day. So I think it was good that we put the aloe stuff on it. So he was burnt, and I went and bought him like this fishing hat, because the next day we had planned on, you know, going on that pirate cruise. I'm like, oh my God, he's got to be out of the sun. I don't want him in the sun. We planned on going on the pirate cruise on a Friday, and it ended up that, you know, that was the day that Tim was sick, and he's like, I don't want to ruin this cruise. I want to enjoy it. I just don't feel good. At one point, he had tried to come down to the beach, and he just was like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Like, it was horrible. He ended up feeling way better by Saturday, but unfortunately, the thought of like seafood was just making him ill. So he couldn't eat seafood the rest of the time we were there. He was so bummed. He did eat some shrimp. He's like, I think I can fucks with some shrimp. But like the fried grouper's a big thing down there. Tim was like, but the grouper and shit, I can't fuck with that, because I think that was what made me sick. We went to a restaurant called Cooters, which is like this famous restaurant down there, and he thinks he got sick from that restaurant. So which he had the group, or no, he had mahi mahi. He had blackened mahi mahi, and he just thought it didn't agree with his stomach. So the rest of the time, poor Beebs couldn't eat seafood. And then, you know, Aiden was burnt the next day. We went on the pirate cruise. The jet skis, I made him wear a hat, but unfortunately, I also, like, you know, was kind of worried because the jet skis, like, we were going on a 2-hour guided tour, and I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna do with Aiden? So I bought him this hat that had this tie. I'm like, Tim's like, he's not gonna be able to wear that hat. I'm like, he has to wear that hat because, you know, his skin is like, you know, at this point it was like dried up and getting ready to peel off, but I didn't want burning happening on top of that. So I slathered him in barrier cream, slathered his shoulders in barrier cream before we even left. Unfortunately, I didn't think about the, you know, I had sprayed his legs with SPF 70, I think it was. I got some like Sunbum SPF 70 and sprayed his legs. I didn't think about the tops of his knees though, like sitting on that jet ski in the sun. So I didn't put barrier cream on his knees. I wish I would have, because that night his knees and all down the outer sides of his legs were so burnt. It didn't blister or anything, but it hurt. He was like almost in tears. It was so burnt. So those were like, and the jet ski story, which I will tell in another video because I don't have time in this one, were basically the only like really, really bad, you know, things that happened. The rest of the time we had the most amazing time. Other than the jet ski thing, which again, I will tell in another video if you guys want me to. Other than the whole jet ski thing, Aiden getting burnt a couple of times, which, you know, it wasn't like, oh my God, the end of the world. He just got a little burnt. He was kind of miserable for, you know, the few hours where his burn was really intense, but then, you know, he took it like a champ for the remainder of the trip. The only other bad thing was on the way back, our flight, I got a text. We're getting ready, you know, I packed the night before, getting ready the night before. Our flight leaves at like 8 in the morning the next day, and I'm packing stuff up. We go to bed. I get a text message at 4 o'clock in the morning. Your flight from, because we, you know, took a flight from Dayton to Charlotte to Tampa, and on the way back we got a round trip, so we were going from Tampa to Charlotte to Dayton. Your flight from Tampa to Charlotte has been canceled. So we were like, what? Wait, what? What do you mean it's canceled? What the fuck? And the text message said, oh, we will update you, you know, when we have information, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck? So I wake Tim up and I'm like, dude, or actually, no. What had happened was I went to the store, the surf shop beside us, and was buying souvenirs, and I got a text on my phone. So I called Tim. I said, dude, our flight's been canceled. They're going to rebook us though. So he's like, okay, no big deal. So then at, you know, I get back to the hotel and we're all packed up. Everything's packed up. I said, oh, they rebooked us. Our flight doesn't leave now until 2 o'clock. So we're like, oh, no big deal, whatever, you know, we'll just talk to the hotel and, you know, see if we can chill out for a little bit, which, you know, it took us about an hour to get from Tampa, or to get from Clearwater to Tampa. So we figured, you know, we could leave the hotel like an hour after checkout time, no big deal. We'll get to the airport early. We'll just have lunch at the airport and kind of hang out, right? So that way it'll give us, you know, plenty of time to get through there. Well, I get a text at 4 o'clock in the morning. Your 2 o'clock flight has been canceled. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So Tim gets online, and apparently what had happened was American Airlines, I guess, tried to update their system earlier that week, and thankfully before we flew out, thank God, and something went awry, and there were people sitting at the Charlotte airport that had been there for days waiting on a flight out of the airport. I guess Tim read somewhere that they had shipped in 600 rental cars, and they still didn't think they were going to have enough because people were at the point where they had been at the airport so long that they started renting cars just to drive to their destination instead of flying, because there was no way to get out of the Charlotte airport. So Tim was like, oh no, we ain't doing this. He said, if we end up flying into Charlotte, we're gonna get fucking stuck there. There's no fucking way I'm doing that. So he ends up calling around, calling, you know, American Airlines, whatever else. I'm online, you know, I don't know how to book airline tickets. It's like, and especially when you're trying to book a last minute ticket, it's fucking expensive as dick. I'm talking $600 to $700 a person. I mean, it was insane. So Tim's mom finally says, you know what? If you book another flight, I will fucking pay for it. We're not getting stuck in Charlotte. This cannot happen. So, because at one point we were like, should we just rent a car, cancel our tickets, and drive home? Like, what the fuck should we do? So she's like, I'm like, we're not paying $700 a person for fucking tickets. I'm not doing that, because it was so last minute. So Tim gets on the phone with Delta, explains to him what's going on, because I'm trying to get on the Delta app and book a flight, and there's nothing available. The only thing I saw on the app that was available was exit row seating. And if you know anything about exit row seating, which at the time I did not, exit row seating is reserved for people who have medical issues. So that way, if there's an emergency with that person with the medical issue, they can get them right off the plane as soon as possible. And you were not able to physically book those unless you had a medical condition. So I told Tim, I was like, I can't find any flights available today. So for, you know, all four of us. So unless they're like in first class, which were literally $1,000 a ticket. And Tim's like, oh no, I don't care if my mom wants to pay for it. She's not. So we ended up calling, Tim ends up calling Delta, and they said, we can seat you in, you know, the exit seating or whatever. We can put you on this flight at, you know, whatever time, at noon, I think, 12:05. We'll put you on this flight from Tampa at 12:05. You're going to have a connecting flight in Detroit, Michigan, and then you'll fly home. So we were like, okay. They said, I can put you in the exit seating. But the thing is A, you have to help with, you know, if there's an emergency situation, you have to be under the realization that you have to help in an emergency. So we're like, okay, we can do that. But B, your son cannot sit with you because he's a minor and he cannot sit in the emergency seating. She goes, however, in most cases, people will switch you seats. Somebody, you know, one of you could switch with somebody, and that way you'll be able to sit by your son. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we get on the plane. I talked to the stewardess. I told her, you know, hey, we had to get these last minute tickets. My son is 3 rows ahead of us. Is there any way we could find somebody to switch? You know, whatever. We had talked, we went into like the little smoking cage to like smoke our e-cigarettes. And this guy told us, oh yeah, if you guys are in emergency, or in exit seating, they have way more leg room than what regular seating does. So you'll find somebody to switch you, no problem. People will be glad to switch you. He's like, if somebody came up to me and asked me if I wanted to sit in exit seating, I'd say, hell yeah, because there's so much more room. So I was like, oh, okay. Made me feel so much better because I was so worried about not being able to sit with Aiden. You know, it was only like his second time flying. So, or third time, I guess, technically, because of the connecting flight. But, so we ended up sitting down, talked to the stewardess, let her know, and she's like, oh yeah, as soon as everybody sits down, we'll figure that out. Well, she never did. So, and what had happened was, everybody sitting around Aiden was a big giant family. There was a mom, there was 3 kids, and like an aunt and a grandma, whatever. Long story short, nobody was switching because they had all chosen those seats together. So before we took off, I had like a literal panic attack because, and I don't have anxiety. Tim has anxiety. He has anxiety about, you know, everything. If you have anxiety, then you know, like, he basically thinks the worst of everything. Worst case scenario in every situation, that's always on his mind. He flips the fuck out. He has panic attacks. He hasn't had a panic attack for years, but, you know, he has kind of like mini, I wouldn't even, you know, be able to technically call it a panic attack, but, you know, he kind of has like little mini moments where he's like, oh my God, freaking out, you know what I mean? So he was fine. He's like, he'll be fine, he'll be fine. You know, I could see him, like, because he was sitting by the window, I was sitting on the outside, 3 rows back. I could see him, not consistently. I had to, like, lean around the seat and, like, look through somebody else's seat to be able to see him. And like I said, I don't have panic attacks. I don't know what it's like to have anxiety. I don't have that feeling of, you know, like, I was scared to fly, don't get me wrong, but not like what a normal person with anxiety is. Although I do sort of understand it because of Tim, because of living with somebody that has that. I don't understand the level of anxiousness that comes with it. You know what I mean? However, there have been times in my life where I do have like a full on, oh my God, panic attack. The last one I had was when Tim was out of town, and I don't like staying by myself. It scares the fuck out of me. I don't know why. I'm weird. The last panic attack I had was, Jesus, like 2 years ago, when Tim was out of town, and Aiden and I were here alone. We were going to bed, and I just had like full-on panic attack being by myself. I thought somebody was breaking in my house. I was freaking the fuck out. I start having a panic attack because I start thinking all this shit in my head of, what if something happens on this plane and I can't get to my child? What if, you know, that when I sat him down in his seat, what if that was like the last time I'd be able to touch my child if something happens on this plane? I started flipping the fuck out. I start bawling. Tim's like, what is the matter with you? I'm like, just don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. He's like, he is fine. He's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So, you know, after the plane took off and everything, and we were at our max altitude and I was allowed to get up, I went and I checked on him. I just calmed myself down by like watching TV. I was like, let me just fucking watch TV and get my mind off of it, because I was freaking the fuck out. So, once we got to our max altitude, I went and I checked on him. Still did not like the fact that he was that far away, so I kept getting up and checking on him. I know I was annoying the actual fuck out of everybody on that plane, but I don't give a fuck, because that's my child. So, everything was cool. After that, I was like, okay, I feel so much better. And let me tell you, that flight from Tampa to Charlotte was exactly what, or from Tampa to Detroit was exactly what I expected a standard flight to be. There was a TV in the headrest. We had flown Delta this time. I will fly Delta forever and always from now on. The plane that we had connected to, because Jesus, it's like a half an hour from fucking Michigan to Ohio, you know what I mean? Our connecting flight was a piece of shit. We all got to sit together, thankfully, but it was kind of just like the first flight we had taken, where the plane was real fucking small, and that plane just happened to be really hot. Thank God the flight was only like 30 minutes, 35 minutes long. And then we got home and drove home. We were cool. But just, I don't know, the thought of like, you know, not being able to like be with my child if something were to happen just freaked me the fuck out. So other than the whole jet ski scenario, which again I will gladly tell a story of, because it ain't no short story, girl, it's the real long story. So I may do that. It's like a little story time type deal. If you guys want to see it, please let me know. If you want to see it, please let me know, because I would love to tell it, because it's so fucked up. So other than like the whole jet ski thing and Aiden getting a little bit burnt, and me having an entire panic attack on flight and then being stupid miserable on the way, everything was kosher. It was so fucking good. It was literally the most amazing vacation I've ever been on in my life. Unfortunately, though, with Delta, I'll just say American Airlines, if you don't like going through the fucking TSA, girl, take American Airlines, because goddamn, all we did is put our bags in a bucket and walk through a metal detector, and they were done with us. When we went from Tampa to Detroit. That was crazy. We were like taking our shoes off. I was so confused. We had to pull every electronic out of our bags. Like, it was nuts. Aiden had gotten this souvenir in Clearwater, which was like a shark in a jar. It was like a jar of liquid that had a shark in it. And when we were leaving, I had bought so much stuff that, and I was like trying to switch everything around to like put stuff that we actually wanted in our carry-ons this time. Because we had a carry-on this time. We had overhead access to everything this time. I was like, I couldn't find room for anything. So I had taken this like shark in a jar that Aiden got and put it in one of our carry-ons, not thinking about the liquids limit and not realizing that that was like an actual liquid. And the guy at the fucking TSA was a total dick and basically pretty much treated me like I had a fucking bomb in my bag. This is over the legal limit of liquids allowance and blah, blah, blah. So he basically told us, you know, because it was in our carry-on bag, he's like, basically the only thing you can do is you can ditch it, or you can take this and go check this entire bag in the checks. Like, you can check this bag rather than carrying it on with you. And the only problem was that our flight was leaving within like a half an hour. We were getting ready to board, and the place where you check your bags at was a train trolley, 2 train trolleys away. So we didn't have time. So we ended up having to ditch it. Aiden was so bummed. He fucking loved that thing. So I'm gonna try to look online and find him one. So, okay, so I have got to go because I gotta go pick my mother-in-law up. I'm probably late. What time is it? Let me see. Oh yeah, I got about 15 minutes to get to her, and I still gotta get dressed and stuff. So, please let me know if you guys want to hear the jet ski story, because it's kind of a fucked up story. Also, the jet ski story, if any of you guys plan on visiting Clearwater Beach, I will tell you that, you know, the company we went through, and I'll just tell you, like, the story when it comes up and let you guys know, like, if you plan on visiting there, maybe not to use this company and why, or maybe you want to use this company. If you hear the story, you'll understand. So please let me know, because I really want to tell the story. I should just do a story time on it, but I want to make sure you guys want to hear it first. So, also, let me know if you guys would like to see a makeup for, what do I want to say? Like, what type of makeup to do for like a tropical vacation or beach vacation, because I'm telling you, girl, like, one of you guys, I think on Instagram, had asked like, oh, will you do videos of the makeup looks you did? I was like, girl, I wore none of the makeup. Like, I barely wore makeup, which, pro tip, again, I'm so glad I tinted, you know, permed, and my lashes and tinted my eyebrows, because it was so nice. It was so nice having that done, because I didn't have to, you know, put a bunch of makeup on. Girl, it was like fucking 90 degrees every day with all the humidity and none of the clouds. It was crazy fucking hot, which I don't mind, but, you know, I also don't want 8 layers of makeup on my face when it's crazy hot like that. And especially like when I'm going to the pool, I'm going to the beach, I don't like to wear mascara, because, you know, you get mascara all over your face. It's just a funky mess, girl. When you're doing activities and shit, you don't want all that shit all over your face. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. Also, if you want, because I basically feel like I'm a professional beach bum now. Like, you know, when you go on Pinterest and you find like a dope ass DIY and you make it and it like turns out all the good, and you're like, oh my god, I'm basically a professional DIYer now. That's kind of how I feel about the beach and about how about traveling. Like, I've flown one time. I've been to the beach one time, but I'm basically a professional beach mom. If you guys want tips and shit, and just some, you know, advice from like shit that I've learned, because there were mistakes that we made that, you know, I will know the next time we travel in that way not to do. So if you guys would like that, then just let me know, and I could totes do that too. I will be doing a video on my lash lift, how to do it and everything. I might wait a little bit longer because my lashes are still curled. So I want to see like how long it takes for my lashes to kind of dampen back down. But I might not wait the entire duration, because so far it's been like almost 2 weeks now, and they're still pretty damn curled. But I have learned like some tips and tricks with that too. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. I'm definitely going to do the video on the lift. I will be doing chemical peel video. I just did not want to do chemical peels before, well, as you guys know, I was tanning. I didn't want to be doing chemical peels and getting inside of a tanning bed. Hello, cancer. And B, I was getting ready to go to Florida in the fucking sun that's like all the closer to the equator than my sun is. So I didn't want to like fuck my face up any more than it already is. Not trying to burn my face off and, you know, cause permanent damage. But I will be doing chemical peels as well. That will be coming for those of you who have been asking. So I'm going to go. I gotta cut it off. So we had a great time. It was the most amazing experience thing I've ever had in my life. It was so fucking awesome. It was such good family time. It was such good, like, me and Beeb's time. It was just awesome. It was fucking great. I'm so appreciative of being able to do it. And I don't know, it was just like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was so fucking cool. I want to live on the beach. It's amazing. So anyways, yeah, I don't know how to outro this. I'm just gonna take off, girl. I'm gonna take off. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you're not. Subscribe and shit. If this is your first video, I feel sorry for you, because goddamn, this is long and chatty. Hopefully you like it. Follow me on all my social media here, even though, you know, I don't get on them that often. I'm trying to get better. Did you guys notice? I'll be posting on Instagram and shit. Who's proud? Who's proud of me? I know you are. I know you are. I've been, you know, dabbling in the gram a little bit. Dabbling in the gram. I may be dabbling in the gram a little more here in the near future. Just saying. Okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to cut it off and I'm going to go. So I will catch you guys in my next one. Peace.